Hello everyone, कैसे हैं आप सब? I am Prema here. I hope you all are watching my videos. I am taking first chapter of NIOS syllabus. Okay, this is for secondary courses for grade 9 and 10th who are homeschoolers who are doing their studies from NIOS curriculum. ओके एंड दीज टॉपिक्स, ये जो टॉपिक्स हैं मैं पढ़ा रही हूँ, जो अभी मैं नंबर सिस्टम ले रही हूँ, ये CBSE और ICSE स्टूडेंट्स को भी हेल्पफुल होगा. इवन दे कैन बेनिफिट फ्रॉम दिस. आई एम डूइंग ऑल द टॉपिक्स स्टेप बाय स्टेप एंड द एक्सरसाइजेज ऑफ द NIOS चैप्टर्स ऑल्सो. ओके, तो आप ये वीडियोज़ देखिए, मेरा वीडियोज़ देखिए और आपको लगेगा ये स्टेप बाय स्टेप मेथड से जो मैं कर रही हूँ आपको ईजी लगेगा. ओके, आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं क्वेश्चंस देखकर. सो डू सब्सक्राइब टू माई चैनल. मेरे वीडियोज़ को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. आपके कोई फ्रेंड्स हैं तो आप उन्हें भी बता सकते हैं. अगर आपका कोई सजेशन है, आपकी कोई क्वेरीज़ हैं तो आप मुझे मैसेज भी कर सकते हैं. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद टुडेज टॉपिक. Okay, so today's topic is only for rational numbers. So first topic is decimal representation of rational number. Okay, how do we represent a rational number into decimal form? So there are two types of rational numbers. There are two types when I say. One is terminating, right? What is a terminating decimals form? Also we have rational number, and other form we have non-terminating, right? Non-terminating and repeating. So these are the two forms of decimal expansions we have for rational numbers. So how do we convert a decimal representation of a rational? How do we form a decimal representation of a rational number? Okay, so if I take this as an example, if I write 12 by 5, now this is a rational number. I have to represent in the decimal form, right? Decimal representation of this rational number. So I will divide now. So if I divide, what do I get? 5 2s are 10. I subtract, I get 2. I put a decimal, I put a 0 here, and 5 4s are 20. See, it's getting terminated, right? We are getting the remainder 0. That means this is a terminating decimal expansion of this rational number. So what is the decimal representation of 12 by 5? It is 2.4. Okay. Similarly, you can take one more example. We take one negative 27 by 25. So 27 divided by 25, you can 25 ones are 25. You get remainder 0. You put a decimal, you put a 0 here. Still it is smaller. 20 is smaller than 25. You do 25 zeros a 0. So 25. So for this decimal I can put a 0 here, and 25 8s are 200. We get a remainder 0. Okay, so the decimal representation of this rational number will be minus. We have to retain the minus sign because it is a minus rational number. So minus 1.08. Okay, so this is the decimal representation of this rational number, minus 27 by 25. Okay, so these are the two examples I have given you for terminating. Okay, when there is a terminating decimal expansion of a rational number, when we see the rational number, when we divide, it gets terminated. Okay, how do we get the decimal form of that? Okay, now the second case you have the non-terminating and repeating form. Okay, suppose if I give an example here. So here if I give example 7 by 3. Okay, so how the decimal form of this, how it will come, let us see. Okay, so 7 divided by 3. So we are seeing non-terminating and repeating. So obviously the name suggests that this division is not going to get terminated, and something in the repeating block in the quotient, something in the repeating block, some number will be coming in the repeating block. So we'll see what do we have in store. So 3 2s are 6 we'll get, minus 1, decimal you have to put a 0 here, 3 3s are 9, again subtract, we get decimal, sorry, we get remainder 1, again for this decimal you can put a 0, okay, and again 3 3s are 9, again you subtract, you will get 1, again for a decimal you can put a 0, then again 3 3s are 9. So see, this process continues, okay, and what we are getting in the repeating block, what do we get? We get 3, right? So what will be the decimal expansion for 7 by 3? It will be, see, 2 is there before the decimal, you have to write as it is. Only 3 is repeating, right? 3 3 3, you can either write dot dot dot, or you can write 2.3 and you have to put a bar, okay? You have to put this bar only on the number which is repeating. Understand? You don't have to put bar on any other number. The number before the decimal you should not put, because that is the whole number part, okay? So here what do we get? So this is, what is this actually? So this is actually non-terminating and repeating, right? It is non-terminating, it did not get terminated, we are not getting the remainder as 0, and it is having a repeating block of a number, okay? So this is one case. One more example I can show you. 5 by 11, let us see 5 by 11, what do we get? So if I divide 5 with 11, what do we get? So here we have to start with decimal only, because 5 is lesser than 11, so we'll put a 0 here for a decimal. So 11 4s are 44, subtract, you get 6. For this decimal you can put a 0, we can do 11 5s are 55, we get remainder 5. Again for this decimal we can put a 0, again we can do 11 4s are 44, again remainder 6, and then for this decimal again we can put a 0, 11 5s are 55, again we get a remainder 5. So here also if you see, there is no termination happening, there is no remainder coming 0 for us. But here what is repeating? Here what is repeating? You know, 45. This is what is a number which is repeating. So how can we write the decimal expansion of this? 5 by 11 decimal expansion, okay, the representation, decimal representation of 5 by 11, we can write 0.4545 dot dot dot, or you can also show it as 0.45 and put a bar on 45, okay, because 45 is the number which is repeating. So you have to put a bar on 45, so it will be understood that 45 is repeating. It is in the repeating block of the quotient, okay. So these are the two examples, these are the two cases you have to study. You should know how to convert the decimal form of a rational number in these two scenarios, okay. In these two cases you should know how to convert, okay. Hope you understood this.